Hello music creators, Mike here, and in this video I will show and demonstrate for you Swam Solo Brass Bundle starting right now. Alright, so I will now show you all my favorite aspects of Swam Solo Brass. Starting with the number one, which is instrument range. So I've loaded every instrument that you get with this bundle, and it covers the entire brass instrument family, starting from the lowest instrument, which is the bass tuba, continuing with the tuba in E flat, euphonium, French horn in F, French horn in B flat, double bass trombone, bass trombone, alto trombone, tenor trombone, flugelhorn, flugelhorn in E flat, trumpet in B flat, trumpet in C, and piccolo trumpet. So as you can hear, the entire range. So that is my first favorite aspect. The next is the interface design, so the user interface. Not only is it very modern and clean, it also is visually very inspiring and has all the main aspects easily accessible. So, little gimmick, but I like it, is that you can see each instrument here in the middle visually and also animated. So if I play this horn here, look at the interface. Right? And also you can see when I move my faders here, which are mapped to expression, this one, you can see they are where they are. And this goes if you use a breath controller, whatever you use to control these expressive aspects. You can see from 0 to 127. And if you look up here, you can see the dynamic over time. So if I have lower expression, it's a lower dynamic, and you can see it visually here. And everything you change, for example, adding a mute, we will come to that soon, you will also see in the interface. Now, what you can also see here is these pages here, right? So you have the expressivity. Here you can go in and dive super deep in custom tonal design if you want to. The playing modes, the timbre. In fact, this is actually my third favorite aspect, which is the sound design possibility with this library. So for example, you can switch, let's use this one. Switch the pipe model from valves to slide. And you can hear a clear difference. And when you use a valve here, or a slide, you can see fixed slide, slide. I don't know what's the stand for. So different types of slides, I guess. And the valves here, normal valve, half, half Wolfram's, and then half Wolf. So this is the normal. We can always go back by clicking here and clicking init here. And you can see the mute here. So let's see if we go back to initialize, like so. This is actually defaulting to any mute on the French horn. Oops, I need to move the fader. So just click these and you can change the sound from no mute. So next is straight mute. Next is harm wa mute. And these special effect mutes are, I feel, amazing for, let's say, cartoon music or video game music or animation or something. Because it adds a special effect. Of course, you can use a mute in a classic orchestral cinematic recording. So, let's see, hand mute as well. So the player is holding their hand in front of the instrument and no mute. Okay? So again, that's what you can control for the sound here, but you can also go in and change the timbre here, bell resonance, breath noise, dirtiness, all this stuff. And once everything is dialed in here, you can use a preset for the sound. So in this case, it comes with 3 presets: the initialized default, love theme in this case on this instrument, and symphonic. Like that. And if you don't like the mute, just click here to remove it. Like that. So that is sound design. The fourth is expressiveness. And this is one of, if not the most favorite of all of these. Because you can really shape your performance much more than a classic sample library. Why? Well, because everything is modeled and you can control in real time all of these aspects that shapes your performance. So the most important ones are the expressions or dynamics, velocity, which is how hard you hit each key, and check what happens here. And together. And you have the vibrato that goes first with light vibrato, and the harder or the more I increase this, and then it turns more into a shake. And you can also set how high this can go per instrument. And then you have the pitch bend, which I don't use that often, but let's say you can always do a little fall in the end of a line, especially if you use it in combination with the dynamic expression. Then you have these controllers here, so listen carefully. You can add flutter tongue and growl, and also you can map these. So if I just play that, listen to when I just move this up with my mouse now. That is a special technique brass players can use, or wind players. And then growl, again, without. And listen as I increase it. That little growliness and stuff like that, I think, works well for that more big band or brass. That sexy brass style of playing. You can also dial in, we'll still here with the sound design and expressiveness, but breath noise and mute control. So in fact, if we try this. I haven't actually used mute control, so I'm... Okay, now I see some... Oh, this is really cool. You can actually push it more in front or away. And so that's mute. Let's go back. Breath noise. So it doesn't affect super much to my ears, but it's there. So all of these aspects you can shape with the expressiveness by using your faders, mod wheel, expression, pedal, or stuff like that, which takes us to my fifth favorite aspect, which is controller mapping. So if you click here, this little line here, you can see that now I can map all these colored parts. So you can map vibrato, velocity, expression, and all this stuff. So for example, if you want to map this one here, just click it, and then let's say I use this fader here on my keyboard. Go back, and now you can see you need to just X this out, and now that is mapped to this fader. So now, super quick mapping. Click there, click on whatever aspect you want, and map it to a fader or knob. But not only that, if you click here again, this icon here, and then click here, MIDI mapping and quick reset. Here it actually comes with custom mappings already made. So for example, if you use a keyboard and do not have a breath controller or stuff like that, or a C board or something, just click keyboard default and you will see expression gets mapped to 11, CC11, vibrato to CC1, and so on. And then you can also map these settings yourself. One thing is that I haven't actually found a way here to save my own mapping preset. So if anybody knows how to do that, if it's possible, please let me know in a comment. Now, getting back here, so you can actually, if you have a breath controller, you can just click here, go in here, click breath controller, which is now, so expression is now mapped to CC2, which is the standard breath controller number. So let's get back to classic keyboard here. Okay, so what else? Well, number 6 is the smoothness of the sound quality and the sound quality in this engine. Because if you compare this to a classic sample library, so when you play a sample library and use, so let's switch to auto trombone. So now, with the classic sample library, when you use the mod wheel to change the dynamics, they have actually recorded each note in, let's say, for a good sample library, 3 or perhaps even 4 dynamic layers, which means when you increase this, let's see if we can map it to keyboard again, like so. Oh, here I mean, if you increase this, on a classic sample library, you will get crossfade between the different wave files, the different sound sources, which you will hear in every sample library that is used in the classic way of recording each note and so on. Whereas with a modeled instrument like this, listen to how smooth it is from 0 expression all the way up to full fortissimo. So I of course, I need to actually use a straight line. It's a bit hard with these tiny faders. Whoops. So when you do crescendos and decrescendos like that, it's super smooth. It's also the same for vibrato. It goes. It just increases a bit more in strength. And it goes for all of these aspects. So it's not a crossfade between the standard non-vibrato and a vibrato. It's actually modeling increasing strength of vibrato. And you can also go in and set the vibrato, let's see, expressiveness. Vibrato rate and depth here, if you want to customize it further. So my seventh and my most... so expressiveness is my favorite feature, and then this one goes with it, which is playability. Because with a standard sample library, when you play, let's say, when you play short notes, let's say staccato, then if you want to go to longer note, like a marcato, you have to use key switches, and I hate key switches. It has never made sense to me personally. I love when you can play live with faders and mode wheel and stuff like that, and velocity, and get out a performance without having to program key switches every time you change how you play. It literally is a inspiration killer to me, at least. So with this Swam solo brass, since it is modeled, everything you perform you can perform in real time with faders mapped here, so expression and vibrato are the most important ones. Let's switch this to classical. Oh, by the way, if you play two keys with no gap in between, you get a legato. And the softer you play the next key, the longer the legato. If I play it harder, like this, it's a legato, but it's fast. If I play it really, really slow, really soft, you get a longer legato, in some cases even portamento when you use this technique. So I will now finish by just playing live, so you can see and hear the expressiveness and playability of the Swam solo brass in action. So I will probably make mistakes, but I will just continue playing without talking. So starting with the bass tuba, playing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I also want to finish with some bonus tips, which is that you can actually play this very efficiently in tandem. So if you load up, for example, the double bass trombone, which is transposed an octave low, and the bass trombone, or for example, the alto trombone and bass trombone, because those are an octave apart. So you have like that, and but when you play them together, super cool technique. So you can use this with, let's say, the alto trombone and the tenor trombone and the flugelhorn. And another bonus tip is that you can, of course, add your own reverb. So let's say you use this tenor trombone, or let's say the trumpet. In this case, you have the classical preset, but you can go for the initial preset, for example, which is way drier. And then let's open up and add, let's say, Spaces 2 here, which is one of my favorite reverbs. Just go with this hole here and see. So, of course, you can add that, and you can add all stuff of types of effects afterwards. But what you get is already so amazing. You can always go in and add the internal reverb here, effects. So you have reverb mix and reverb time and early reflection, which are present in each of these. So if you use a symphonic, you get more of that reverb built into this engine itself. So I recommend, if you want to use an external reverb, go with the initialized preset because it's way drier. And then dial in your reverb as you want it. So that is Swam Solo Brass. I personally love modeled instruments, so this instrument bundle of brass will go directly into my workflow and my template project for composing, since I do a lot of cinematic and orchestral music. I will leave a link in the video description so you can check these instruments out on the audio modeling website and decide for yourself if this is something that you want to add as a composer to your toolkit. Now choose which video you are going to watch next, or you can check out the amazing bonuses in the video description.